Okay, so it is being live streamed now. And here we go. Okay. Okay, so it is being live streamed. Okay. Hi guys. So I think since it is already being live streamed, now I want to ask you one question. Who attended yesterday's class? Yesterday's class link. I think you'll find the class recordings now. They'll be there in the chat section. They'll be there in the recording section. I'm sorry. Okay, a lot many people did. So what did you learn yesterday? A quick question for everyone again. What did you find interesting in yesterday's class? Or is there any feedback we could work upon depending upon yesterday's class? What sort of feedback can we work upon? What sort of feedback can we take from you guys? The class was too fast, was it, Soumya? Okay, got it. Anything else? Today is my first class. Okay, so for people who have this as their first class, guys, you do not need to worry as such, because it would be a pretty nice class, I can assure you that. Because again, first of all, it is placement preparation. So placement preparation is something that is more sort of related to everyone who's going for jobs, right? I think ultimately at the end of the day, a lot of us are into jobs, right? Are here for the job thingy. So for the same, today's session would be really helpful for you guys. First of all, I'll just brief you about what you can look forward to in today's class, right? So once you're going ahead with today's class, the first thing you can expect here is, of course, to meet your instructor whom you met yesterday as well, if you came here yesterday, wherein she taught you about YouTube clone building. Now today, she'll be telling you about more about how you can go ahead and prepare for your placements, right? So once you go ahead, sit for your placements, you might have a lot of issues coming in when it comes to the interviews, because what we understand is that taking across user feedback, taking it across students feedback, what we understand is that a lot many of us might be really good at coding, right? But then a lot many times we do face issues when it comes to sitting for the interviews, sitting for job interviews, placements, whatever it is, right? So I think that is something that we can work upon, and that is something we'll be looking to address in today's class. Okay. And how to actually work like a programmer. I think, Vandana, more than that, this session would be about how to actually give an interview like a programmer. So something like that. Okay. So great. So before we begin, before the instructor comes in and takes over, I think I'll just share across the Discord link so that everyone can find the class recording on Discord itself. It is bit.ly/Accio Discord. It's put here in the chat section now. Right. Now, guys, I think more questions coming in. Ma'am, I'm from non-technical background. So is this lecture beneficial for me? Anurag, I think I can just answer this, that once you're going for placements, I think both non-technical and tech people go ahead for placements, right? But then moreover, more centered around tech would be something that you can expect from this session. So this session would be more centered around tech. So make sure once you're going ahead with the session, you can expect to have a hang about how you can go ahead with, I should say, placements and job interviews, but then it would be related to tech interviews, of course, right? And can you share the YouTube link of this video? I think I can. Okay. And background doesn't matter for sure. Yes, I agree, Soumya. Okay, so Priyanshu is asking, I've completed my BTech in 2018. I have no experience till now. Am I eligible for Mank? Okay, I think you won't trust me. So I think the instructor can teach you better, can tell you better, but of course you can. So what happens is that what these companies are looking for is how you can go ahead and code. right? So they'll be looking at your overall personality first thing, and how good you are at the skills they require. I think most of these companies require DSA. Is DSA enough? I think Ajit's question is something really similar to this. So Ajit, what happens is that once you're going ahead with placements via us, the placements begin in the third month itself. Even though the course takes at least 6 to 8 months to complete, the placements begin in the third month. And why do they begin in the third month? It's just because DSA is something that we teach by the third month. So once you go ahead, complete DSA, you are eligible to go ahead with placements. So DSA is the most important thing for placements. And if you're going ahead with DSA, that's the only thing that is required. Trust me, nothing else would be required, but everything else is an add-on. So if you go ahead, learn other things as well, that's even better. Right. And okay, I'm in third year BTech CSC, but will you give 100% placement assistance for me? Oh, why not? I mean, so what happens is that we do give placement assistance to everyone who's coming to us. I think that is something that we've been really clear about. Once you go ahead on our website, once you research about us on any other platform as well, this is something that we were very clear about, that you do get placements via us. Now, what sort of assistance do you get through us? Simple it is. We'll be bringing to you the companies, we'll be training you for them, we'll be training you through mock interviews as well. So you'll have unlimited mock interviews throughout the course. And this session that you'll have today, that will give you an idea about how these mock interviews take place, and what sort of job interviews, or what sort of things that you can expect once you're going for placements, right? So this is something that gives you an idea about that. Though in order to know more, in order to go ahead and practice, you would have to be amongst the main batch students, right? Okay, I'm in first year now, am I eligible? Yes, you're eligible to join the course. I think that is something that pretty much everyone is eligible to go for, right? So I think there's no diploma, guys. I think there is something that I'm really, and I think a lot of us are really clear about, that once you're going ahead with the course, you're pretty much eligible for placements. You're pretty much eligible, right? So there's nothing as such that you cannot go ahead with placements if you're or you cannot go ahead with something or the other if you're joining the course with any background. So once you're going ahead with the course, there's any sort of background you can come from, you're eligible for placements. And I think the instructor would be covering the same today. So the instructor would be here with us now. And Suman, can you take over?
Hey, yeah, sure.
Hi, Suman. So I think she can take over. And guys, a quick greeting for her as well. A quick hi or hello to Suman as well. Thank you for joining, Suman. Best of luck.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Shikha. Hi, guys. So how are you doing? Assuming so many people are here just to know how to grab opportunities at big wigs, right? And I guess so many people from the yesterday session too. Hi, guys. Hello again. So happy to see you guys who had already been a part of the yesterday session. And as I told them, today we are going to cover the placement session and all the topics that can be covered during the placements and the interviews. We'll cover them all. So before that, again, so I practiced the same thing yesterday. I would like to know all the people who are new today session to the session. I would like to know from are you guys college students or working professionals? If yes, then in which year are you in? Like if college students, then in which year? Are you fresher or for second year students? Or if you're working, then from in which background or in which field are you working in, or in which companies? Okay, college students. Okay. That's good. So we have many people who are already in college and then there are pass outs. Great. Cool. (2023) batch pass outs are also there. I guess many people are there from 2020 batches. Cool. So let's start and let's see what do we have for today's session. I hope my screen is visible, guys. Great. So today's session is all about cracking placements like a pro, whichever company it is. First of all, let's aim high. Let's know ki, theek hai, this is our aim. This is what we want to do, crack the placements, right? And let's see how we can do that. Okay, so I'm your speaker for today. I'm Suman Ghosh. Let me introduce myself. So I'm currently working as a software developer 1 at Navi. I have worked at GFG as a member of technical staff previously. And apart from that, I have interned with around 6 to 7 companies with that. Like when I was in my college years, there is a program which is organized by Google, which is GCI, Google Summer of Google Coding, which is for pre-university kids. So I have been a mentor in that program also, where I have mentored around 500 students who were pre-university, like they were school students who were into this open source program. Apart from that, I have mentored across 1,000 students till now in front-end development, to be very specific. So that's all about me. Also, if I talk about the stacks that I have worked upon or I'm currently working on, so I've worked on front end primarily in HTML, CSS, JS, and then there are so many different libraries that are there in CSS. With that, I have worked on frameworks like React JS and Angular JS, primarily in JavaScript. I've also worked in backend using Node.js and Java Spring Boot. So these are all the technologies which I have worked on, including the different databases. So yes, it's been a long time since I started this journey of mine being a software developer. I am also someone like you who might not be from a very lavish college, right? I was also someone who was mediocre in studies. Initially came to a college where not many good companies come. So I had to do things all by myself, crack interviews, and then I've landed up to the dream company which I actually wanted to come upon. So yeah, this is all about me. Starting with today's agenda, what are we going to learn today and what are we going to actually see today? So the first thing that we are going to learn and explore on the placement preparation, how to actually find opportunities. So this session is actually aimed for all the students. So people who are freshers, don't worry. I'll tell you how to prepare, because preparation is the first stage, obviously, and then one can sit to the interviews, right? So I'll tell you how to prepare, on what all parts do you need to actually act upon to be that comfortable with interviews. Okay. For the people who are actually prepared, that is the second step, right? For the people who are actually there, I also have something for you, because people who are actually prepared, they actually don't know how to apply for jobs, how to connect with people, and what are the different ways in which you can apply to companies. So I'm here for that also. And at last, people who are already interviewing in that situation when they are absolutely like prepared for the good companies, for them also I have something with me. So it's going to be a session which will help everyone in detail. So I'll talk about details one by one. First, I'm going to talk about how to grab opportunities, exactly how to search for opportunities. Next, the skills that you would require to become a software developer. Specifically, then I would talk about front-end interviews in product-based companies. That can be Navi, Flipkart, Myntra, Swiggy, Amazon, all these companies, most Uber, or let's say Postman, most of these companies are having a standard front-end interview round. So I'm going to talk about that round also, and what are the specific rounds you can expect, and the questions also that you can expect in each of these rounds. Then we are going to see a session wherein I'm going to talk about a perfect resume and how you can build it. Okay, so these are the 4 steps that we are, and the 4 things that we are going to learn today in today's session. So are you excited? I hope there are so many questions. What I'll do, I'll just take up the first session, the first section, which is the placement preparation section, and then you guys can come up with your doubts. And this section is more about interacting, guys. This whole session, we have nothing that is in theory. This is the place where you can clear your doubts. So please be comfortable. Please feel free to whatever doubts you have. You can add your doubts in the comment section. Okay, so let's talk and make this session more interactive, and also a place where your questions get answered actually. Okay, so shall we get started? Okay, great. Now, talking about SD opportunities, let's say you are looking for opportunities specifically for software devs, right? People who are planning to switch specifically for them, or people who are already prepared. They are looking out for jobs and not getting some opportunities. Let us discuss the problem exactly. So guys, whenever you come out of a college, once you are in a college, if you are in a good college, let's say, then there are companies that are already coming on campus to actually get you placed, right? But once you are out of that college space, it becomes quite difficult sometimes to grab opportunities, because at college, uh there can be, like, let's say in your college there can be 1,000 students, right? So you are actually competing with 1,000 students at that point of time when you are in college. But once you are out of college, you are actually competing with so many people who are actually applying for jobs. They can be in lakhs also, they can be in thousands also, right? So the competition sometimes becomes difficult. So sometimes you don't get to know about open vacancies. Like when you are in college, placements come, right? So you get to know ki, today this company is coming, tomorrow this company is coming. But outside, you don't get to know that. There's not a proper place where you can find all the opportunities at once, right? So that's an issue. Next, you compete with numerous people without even knowing their capability. So it's tough sometimes. In your college, you know, okay, this batchmate of mine is too good. So if I want to crack a placement, I'll have to outperform that guy, right? So you know the capabilities of your friends. But when you are out of that place, you don't know how your competitors are actually working, what are their capabilities. Now, sometimes it's hard for your resume also to get noticed by recruiters among the whole pool of applicants. There are thousands of people applying for a job and thousands of people having their resume. How do you think that your resume is the perfect one and it should get selected? Right, out of those thousands of resumes, you'll have to stand out to get that opportunity that the HR will recognize your resume, right? And then the interview rounds are comparatively harder, or the number of rounds that are there off campus also, the number of interviews are might vary to for the people who are already there in the college. So that's also one of the aspects. And you can go to the recruiters to ask for opportunities, so recruiters have an upper hand always. So now here is the solution. Sometimes ki you can go to the recruiters and ask for the opportunities. This is one thing you can do. And sometimes when you are outside, it's also difficult to get referrals. So these are the things which can be a problem when you are applying. But let's find a solution on how we can make this process, this application process, a bit easier, right? Now, the first thing is knowing opportunities. first of all, if you know the opportunity, ki theek hai, this company is hiring, you are already having an upper hand in comparison to the people who are not knowing about the opportunities. But the question is again, ki how to know the opportunities. And guys, whatever I have written here actually is something that I have done myself. And this, all the things that I have noted down here have actually helped me in getting into a company where I wanted to be and to interview with companies which are really good. So these are the tips and tricks which I have followed myself. So the number one thing that I did was to make a list of the companies that you want to apply for primarily and keep a track on their job portals or on LinkedIn. So I hope everyone is there on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional platform where you can connect with people professionally. So let's say what I did initially, I made a list of companies. Let's say I wanted to apply at Navi and then Myntra, Swiggy, all these companies, Flipkart. So I made a list of them. What are the companies where I want to apply? Similarly, you guys can also do. Check online. There are good startups which are currently India is having a booming range of startups, right? So many good startups are coming who are paying so good. So you can simply get, if you search on LinkedIn also, a list of good companies, or unicorn companies on Google also, if you search, you'll get the good list of and good amount of companies there. So make a list. These are the companies I would want to work. Now go to LinkedIn, find jobs on LinkedIn, get notified when a new vacancy is there. So the first thing is that, okay, make a list of companies. Next, what you can do, you can go to LinkedIn and search if these companies are actually applying, looking out for people. For SDs or something, you guys can go to their page. Particularly if you go to LinkedIn, if you search Swiggy, let's say you want to work at Swiggy or Amazon, let's say. So search Amazon, wahan pe on LinkedIn, you'll get a option wherein you can see the job opportunities at Amazon. So you can go there and see if they are hiring for people. First option. Next, there is again a separate job section on LinkedIn where you can go, and there are so many companies who are hiring for SDs and whatever position you actually wanting to look for. And you can get notified every time a new vacancy is there. So that is the second thing. Now you can follow the pages on LinkedIn, Instagram, which post job updates regularly. So this also helped me a lot. There are many pages, like if you will search job opportunities या job करके on LinkedIn, let's say, you will get a lot of pages who post of the job opportunities, latest job opportunities on daily basis. So this will also help you a lot. Then you can follow the HRs. HRs are the human resources, or the people who actually recruit you. So go and follow the HRs and TA team executives of the companies which you actually shortlisted. Okay, so follow them, because these guys also post the openings. Okay, these are the openings that we are currently hiring for. So that also helps you in getting to know the opportunities. And then you can join Telegram and Discord channels that post about the job updates. So these are the few ways where you can find. Another very good trick which I followed was, when you go on LinkedIn, you can just search the term hiring. Okay, you can just search the term hiring. What does it do? This hiring, once you do this, you will get many options. Let's say you want to search hiring in people, in jobs, or in companies, something like that. Okay, now click on people. How does it help? There are many people on LinkedIn who actually write in their bio ki we are hiring. It helps in highlighting, like if I'm hiring, I'm looking for people, then I'll write in my bio hiring. Okay, so this helps me in standing out and helping me reach out the people who are actually looking for jobs. So similarly, if you are looking for jobs, just search hiring and click on people. Okay, once you click on people, the list of people who are actually hiring, right? Or the people who have this word hiring in their bio will actually come, and you can ping them. you can ask for referrals, and I'm going to talk about this section, this thing in the next section. So let's move on. Now, I told you, you know about the opportunities. Now, let's say you made a list, you did everything, you joined the groups. Now, how to apply? The first thing, once you have made a list, search for a friend or a senior or unknown who works in that company. Okay, now let's say you wanted to work at Amazon. So you found, okay, this is the company I wanted to work. Now you can go to their jobs page. If let's say you found a job, they are hiring for front-end devs. Next thing, what you can do is, rather than directly applying on that portal, see, on portals generally, again, lakhs of people apply. So it's difficult for, and whosoever can apply, right? There is no constraint. Whosoever applies on that. And actually, the search criteria is also not seen by a human. It is done by an ATS, a robotic thing, which actually checks, or a computerized thing, which goes through your resume. So the chances of your resume getting shortlisted is very less at that point of time. So rather than, what do you do? Once you get to know about an opportunity, go on LinkedIn, go on, let's say, Amazon ka page, just search everything on web, use LinkedIn on web. It helps you a lot. Now, once you go there, find for people who work in Amazon. If you have a friend or a senior who works in that company, well and good. Ask for a referral. What is a referral? You are actually asking people to refer you to their company. How does it help? Because see, if anyone is referring you, they are going to directly send your resume to the HR. In this case, what happens for an HR, it is easier to go through the referrals rather than searching to that main system where there are thousands or lakh number of resumes, right? So through the referrals, there are less number of resumes. So they give an upper hand to the people who are actually referred. Okay. And also the people who refer you, if you get selected, they also get some amount of you being referred. So that is why people refer if you have a good profile. So always ask for referrals. It gives you an upper hand, okay, over the other people who are like foolishly just adding their resumes to the normal portals, because they are not considered most of the times. Okay. So just search for a friend or a senior or known who works in that company. Then if you don't have any friends, on LinkedIn, again, you can search for the SDs who are working in that company, and you can ask them to refer you. So how do you do that? You can send them a very short message telling ki, if this job role has some vacancy and you are interested to apply to that job role. So let me show you how you can actually do that thing. Yes. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Is my LinkedIn visible? The tab that it's visible, right? Okay. So as I was saying and talking about the tricks, so the first thing that you can do is hiring. Let's say you searched for hiring. Now see, search for people in here. Okay. Can you see all the people who had actually written this word hiring, right? Are there. Hiring talents. So out of them, you can actually connect to them and send a message. So let's say you are asking for a referral, you are wanting to apply somewhere. What you can do, once you send a connection request, you can add a note here. This is going to give you an upper hand. What note can you write? Let's say you can tell them ki, hi sir or hi ma'am, we actually find an opportunity at your firm which you are actually interested in. So if they can refer you for the same position, that would be great. And also one more thing that you can do is, which I also personally do, you have resumes, right? Add your resume to this message. How you can do that? Upload your resume to Google Drive, right? Upload it there, get a link. There is a space called Bitly, which helps you in shortening your URL. Why I'm saying that? Because this message has a length of 300 only. So like the Google Drive link is too long. So just shorten it and add the resume here itself, so that a person can see your message straight away. They can look at your resume by clicking that link, and straight away, if they feel, they can refer you. They'll download your resume and refer you straight away. So simple. And if you would have like done it ki pehle I'll send the request, once the person accepts my request, only then I'll send them the message, like that. But see, using the normal LinkedIn section also, you can send the messages, and the person can straight away, if they want to refer you, they can see your message without even accepting your connection request, and they can refer you, right? A simple process, and that helps a lot. Like I started using this method, and I was able to grab so many uh, referrals through this method. So this is a very useful method. How to send the message, like you can just use web. Okay, just use web, and what you need to do, just click on connect, and connect pe there is an add note ka option. Write your message here. Let's say, hi sir, I found an opportunity for, let's say, SD1 at your firm. At your firm, and I'm quite interested in applying for it. Would you please mind to refer me to the recruitment team? Okay, so something like this you can add. Uh, you can also say that these are my let's say the tech stacks that you know, right? You can add those in short key, and then you can add your resume here, the link to your resume. This is how you can do, and then you can click on send, right? So this is one way. And then, as I told you, in people you can search, and normally in posts also you can search. So once you search this hiring in posts, see, you'll get so many people who have actually added hiring alert, Reliance hiring for DC managers. So you'll find something like this. And again, there is a special option for jobs. If you are wanting to find something, let's say you want to search for front-end developers, developer roles, then you can just search the keyword, and you will be able to see the jobs that are currently open for that particular profile, right? So these are the few ways in which you can actually apply for jobs and ask for referrals very specifically. And asking for referrals is not bad. It's just that you are asking that person to refer you. Ultimately, the HR is going to select your profile, shortlist your profile. If the profile gets shortlisted, only then they are going to interview you or move you to the second rounds, right? So this is what it is. Like, this is how. And so now you know, now that you have found about the positions and where, at which company do you want to apply, just go for referrals. Don't directly apply to their job portals. Okay. Cool. Moving forward, now how referrals help. I hope you understood that what referrals are. And now let's talk about how referrals help. As I told you, ki some companies mostly hire through referrals only. Why? Because whenever, let's say, me being a senior developer, I'm going to refer someone who's actually having that forte, right? He who is actually capable of clearing the interviews. Why would I refer someone who's not having the capability of clearing the interviews? So I would obviously, like, one set of shortlisting I have done from my side, only then I have referred that person. So it becomes easier for the recruiters to actually go through those resumes. It's easier for them and it's time saving, actually. That is why they give more preferences to the resumes that come via referrals. Then recruiters consider referred resumes more as compared to the ones who applied directly. I told you already, your resume has better chances to get shortlisted, right? At one place you are competing with so many people, on the other place it's just that a developer who is already working in that company, that person is referring you, so you are getting an upper hand, right? Ki someone from the same company, that person might be good, that is why he's working in that company, right? And if that person is referring you, he might be considering something good in you, that is why he's referring you. So that's the advantage of referrals. So I hope till this point it is clear. Please hit upon your doubts, whatever you have, just let me know in the comment section. Before moving forward, I'll just, if anything, like till now you faced any issues, we can discuss on them. Like, it's not related to what I discussed now. If you are still facing any issue, like, I hope these things are clear and these steps are clear so that you can use them for your upcoming things. Let me go through your doubts one by one. Okay, so some Ajay is asking that in AccioJob, how they refer us for placement. Now, the best thing at AccioJob is that they're not going to refer you. They are actually going to call the companies and they are going to, like it happens in the colleges, right? As I told you, companies come, they hire you, right? So similarly, AccioJob also invites companies. They have partnerships with the companies and companies come and interview you. So if you have reached to a sudden module and you have been a good student, like you have completed the assignments and you have been on the top of the leaderboard, let's say, so you'll get that opportunity to sit for the interviews for these good companies. So that is the best thing, that you need not ask for referrals in the first place. If you are at AccioJob, we are going to provide you that opportunity where companies are coming to you. You need not go to the companies. Okay, so again, what is the difference between the normal class versus AccioJob? So one of the best things that I like about AccioJob, since I have worked with, I have personally been a part of other orgs also, and I have seen how these guys teach and how those organizations also teach. So herein, what do we have? Let's say ki it's front end. It's a whole course, and then we have DSA, we have front end, and we have back end. So each of them are broken into modules. Okay, so let's say for front end, we have module 1, module 2, module 3, let's say. Okay, so module 2, let's say if it takes 1 month, so it is going to be a rigorous program wherein you are going to have classes from Monday to Friday, and then you are given assignments on daily basis. Once you are done with the module 1, then there is a test that is taken upon. If you clear that test, only then you are going to go to the next module. If you fail that test, then you'll have to remain in the first module, and it's completely free. It's not that key you are again repeating the same module, so some extra amount is there. You have to clear that, like you see in classes, right? When we were in school, ki agar fail ho jate hai, so you remain in the same class. So it's just like that. You'll have to repeat that module. Just we want to make sure that whatever we are teaching, that is clear to everyone. right? Only then we move you to the next module. And then there are step by step. Once, let's say you are done with the whole front end module, you are done with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, advanced JavaScript, and then React JS. Then specifically this time what we have done, and we keep on changing stuff. This time what we did, since we understood that companies, when they come, they expect that students have a unique project. So at other firms, they take upon projects which are cliche, which you can see on YouTube also. But we take up projects which are unique, which you might not see at any other place. So we take up that projects, we help you, we divide, let's say if there are 60 students, we divide the group into 10 to 15 students. Each 10 to 15 students have a mentor who are going to prepare, help them in preparing a project. So this is how we do stuff. Okay, let me. Yes, everyone can get a referral, guys. Just that you need to have a good resume. For getting a referral, one should have a good resume, right? Let's say ki I am referring someone. Why would I refer someone who might not have those skills again? Right? I would refer someone who is having good skills. So that is must. I'll share my resume. Don't worry, guys. That is the last part, actually, when we are going to talk about the resume session. No, that doesn't happen. Ki someone refers you and you didn't clear the interview. Will the image, that person's image in the company gets affected? No, no, no. Every people refer around 100 to 200 peoples also. So don't worry about that. Also, guys, percentage doesn't matter. Whatever percentage you had in school or in college, that won't affect. If you are aiming for good companies, they only focus on your skill. Let's say if any of the companies, they are looking for your 12th ka percentage, how does your 12th or 10th ka percentage actually matter? People grow with time, right? So that doesn't matter. So let's move forward. Now let's talk about how to make your resume strong. Before that, let me tell you that so many of you are already asking ki how to make a resume, how to make your resume strong. So ऐसा नहीं होता कि resume एक दिन में ही strong बन जाए या resume एक दिन में ही बन जाए. It's not something that you can do in one day. It's an effort of your, let's say, the efforts that you have done over the years, which you are actually presenting as a resume, as your resume. Okay. So first of all, when you think of creating a good resume, a strong resume, the first thing is to set goal. What you actually aim for, what you actually want to become. Let's say if you want to become a software developer, okay, then where? Which is your dream company, or what companies do you want to apply for? Set some goals for you, because once you have goals, you will at least know if whatever directions you are picking up, are you going into the correct directions or the wrong directions. So picking up goals is the first thing. Then set some steps of how you're going to achieve those goals. Very important. I have seen people very confused. They don't know actually ki karna kya hai, and then they don't know ki what are the steps. Let's say there are some people who know ki what they actually want to become, but they have never thought of actually breaking up into steps. Ki theek hai, if I want to reach to that step, what all things do I want to do? Let's say I wanted to become a software developer. Now I knew that my college won't help me in getting into a very good company, right? So what I did, I talked to people who were at good companies. I got to know ki theek hai kya kya chahiye. Ultimately, it's the skills, right? So I knew ki, okay, these are the skills that I should learn for becoming a developer. And then I'll have to do some internships, so I'll have to make good projects. Only then maybe my resume can be shortlisted. So these are the steps that I had defined for myself, and then some granular steps also. So always, whatever you are aiming at, break it into steps, right? Then obviously, once you know what are the steps, work accordingly. It's not that you were soch liya hai and you're not working. So once you do all these things, your resume will automatically become strong. Okay, because if I say for a fresher who is currently in first year, let's say, and he's saying मुझे अपना resume बनाना है, for them, what do I suggest? They have nothing to write in their profile right now, right? So the first thing that they'll have to do is to set a goal, give themselves some time, right? Because things build when you give yourself time and your goals that particular time, and automatically your resumes, and if you work accordingly, your resume is going to be strong. Now, talking about the goal, so what your goal is. Since we are here, I'm assuming that people want to become a software developer in product-based companies, or let's say service-based companies. They want to work in some startups or established MNCs, and profile in which we want to work in. So you should know ki, matlab, where first thing, what do you want to become? Once you know that ki this is something which I want to become, next thing is which all companies are you aiming at, because that helps you in applying and knowing their job opportunities also. That circles out things. Okay, so these are the small steps. Whenever you are thinking something, just go through these things. Once you know that, so let's say currently since we are here, so I'm assuming that everyone wants to become a software developer in a very good company, right? So once you know that, we should know that what are the things that are required to become a software developer at these product-based companies. Product-based companies are those companies, guys, which make products of their own. Let's say Flipkart. So Flipkart has a product of their own, right? They sell stuff. Amazon have their own products, right? Mini TV hai, then Amazon is a platform, then they provide Prime videos, so many services they have. Google is a product based company. So all these companies who pay heftily are actually product based companies, and service based companies are like Infosys, TCS, ThoughtWorks. Then there are so many companies who actually sell services. They make products for their clients. Okay, so these are some service based companies. They don't have any product of their own. They are working for other firms. They are making products of other companies. So these are what service based companies are. So now, since you know that where you want to work, so what are the skills that are required to become a software developer? The first thing that you should know is DSA. DSA is primary. Just pick up any language first of all. It can be, if you want to just straight away start with, pick up C, C++. Okay, C++ are the basics. Then once you have done it, C++, then Java is there, JavaScript is there. So many languages are there. So you can pick up any of the languages. Then start off with the data structure and algorithms. Being a software developer, the first and primary thing you should know is to solve problems that using code, right? So for that, you'll have to learn DSA, problem solving. Then you should have some basic knowledge of some CS subjects like OS, DBMS, CN, right? Oops, object oriented programming. So these are, I have listed down these 4 subjects which you should actually know if you are a software developer. It will be really good once you are in companies, so it becomes easier for you to actually understand the in-depth thing in that. Okay, and then it will be very useful if you have some project experience, if you have made projects, good projects of you. And it's not like that ki bas YouTube pe chale gaye and then you found some small projects and bas you thought ki nahi, I have copied this YouTube projects, so now though I have seen so many projects in my resume, I'll be selected. No, not like that. Companies are not foolish. They know ki these are small projects and anyone can make them, right? So you'll have to make projects of your own. And it becomes easier if you have grabbed an internship. So in internship you get an industry experience ki how people work in companies, right? And live projects also, you get to work on live projects. So internships help you a lot. So these are the few things you need to learn if you want to become a software developer at any product based company. Now, let's say you have done that. Many people have this question also ki DSA kare ya development kare. Do you guys have any such doubts? People who might be in this dilemma, right? So DSA kare ya development kare, again, big question. So yaar, kuch bhi karo, and I would suggest actually do both of them. Do DSA also and do development also. It's not that key restrict yourself just to DSA, because ultimately when you're going to come to companies, wahan pe it will be development focused. Okay, so if you have a primary experience of development, it will help you a lot. Like when I was in my internship days, I knew DSA also and I worked on development also. As I told you, I interned with firms and I had worked on the live projects of there. So I had an internship experience and industry experience, and I saw how actually companies work, what are the tools they use, how do they function, how do they make a whole project, what is the ideology. All these things you get to learn a lot. So I would say rather than going with one thing, you can focus on both the things. That is absolutely fine. So you can learn DSA, you can do competitive programming, then you can do front end tech and back end mein se. You can pick up on anything front end ya back end mein se. And then you should do some internships, either as I told you ki you can go with your personal projects also. That is completely fine. Okay. So any questions still here, guys? Any questions still here? So for DSA, what I did there, so when I was in my college days, I didn't have AccioJob or any such platforms as such. At that point of time, Geeks for Geeks and today also, it was a great resource. So I went through their courses and also the YouTube courses that were there. A very good course by Geeks for Geeks is the self-paced DSA course that helped me a lot. Difference between DSA and development. DSA is the data structure and algorithms. Okay, it's not related to development. Development is more kind of how to make a product end to end, pura functionality. But in DSA, it's core programming, like a problem is given to you and you have solved that problem. It's like that. Priyanshu, so you have no experience till now. Are you eligible for Mang? Yes, you are, but then your profile should be strong because they consider people who have a really good profile. So that is a must again. How you can apply for internships, I'll tell you guys. Average package of a web developer, guys, there is no average package, to be very honest. Matlab, it is just the data set which you are going to take to determine let's say an average package. Average package kuch nahi hota hai. Kuch लोगों का package can be 5 lakhs also. कुछ लोगों का package can be 15 lakhs also. कुछ लोगों का package can be 20 lakh also. This doesn't depend on a web developer. In any field you will see there is a different let's say slabs of people having their packages. So that depends on your skills primarily. Couldn't get the clear idea on DSA and development. Once you start, so DSA is this, let me tell you. So DSA kya hota hai? These are algorithms, set of algorithms and data structures which help you. Let's say, okay, let me give you an example. So in English, right? In English, you need to know grammar, right? To speak or write fluently. Grammar is the basic thing. You should know grammar for any language. Let's say for Hindi, English, or any language, there are some set of grammars, right? Those are the foundational things when you are going to learn a language. Similarly, for any language you are going to learn as a software developer, the basic is data structures and algorithms. Like in grammar, it tells you what are tenses and it provides you a set of rules. This is the way you should write English, or this is the way you should speak it, or you should form a sentence in this format, right? The way grammar tells us. Similarly, data structures tells us this would be the best way to write a program or code in such a way so that things become faster. So that is DSA. Now, what is development? Development is building things from end to end, the actual programming. So development includes data structures also. Got my point? Yes, portfolio is necessary to get a job. DSA you can do in any language. You can either pick C++ or Java. Development would be a better career growth. Sorry, guys. Atif, yes. Atif, portfolio is very necessary. Portfolio is your resume. Just that. Resume is very necessary for any job. If you're going to apply as a lawyer, or let's say at any place you're going to apply, right? Portfolio is something which is going to tell about you. It's a brochure describing what you actually are. So that is important, right? Ajay, actually, I'm not aware of that bond, so I might not be the right person to actually answer that question. Okay, so let's move on. I see that you guys are having so many doubts, but before that, the resume building session we are going to have in the end, guys. But let's understand the interview process, okay? देखो, एक बार you know the skills, you know how to apply those skills. Once you have that much preparation, only then there is a point of talking about resumes. Let's say you know nothing as of now. Resume की बात करने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं बनता. There is no sense. It will be like if else I'll tell you either way you are not having skills, let's say right now, your resume will be empty. So let's focus on building skills and understand what are the skills that are actually required. What is the purpose of resume? The purpose of resume is to get a job, right? Anyone will give you a job only when you are having the required skills. अब resume में skills ही नहीं होंगे apt, then how can you apply for jobs and get a job? So let's focus on the skills as I told you. First thing, again, let me repeat this. First thing is not resume. The first thing is your skills. Now, as I told you, we discussed about different things. DSA, front-end technology, back-end technology, and all these things. Now let's talk about specific. Let's say if you want to become a front-end developer. So yesterday we had a session wherein we talked about front-end specifically. Today we are going to talk about how to demystify, how to make the front-end interviews easier. So what is a front-end developer? Can anyone tell me? Many might already know. Correct. People who actually develop the user interface of any website are the front-end devs. Now, if you want to become a front-end dev at very good companies, like I told you the names already, all these top-notch companies, let's know what are the skills do they ask for. So the first thing, and these are for freshers, guys, okay? Irrespective of, you might have, let's say, a lot of experience in some other field and you want to switch to development, it is for them also. For everyone who's actually looking for a job change or being a fresher, you want to apply as a software developer, specifically as a front-end developer, then these are the required skills specifically. So for the other part, I already told you, for normally you need DSA and the OOPS concepts. These are the things that you should know. But specifically, if I talk about backend developers, front-end developers, there are some specific things apart from DSA also that are must for you. So those are the knowledge of HTML, CSS, and a very good knowledge of JavaScript. At least the basics should be very clear. So having a good knowledge of HTML, CSS, and a good firm grip on JavaScript primarily, this is required. The second thing is the knowledge of front-end frameworks like React and Angular would be a perk. It is good if you already know React. That is going to help you once you are there in the company. Next, you should have a good problem solving skill. Now, what a good problem solving skill? Again, when you will do DSA, it is going to help you in understanding or solving the the questions better. So good problem solving skills, how you can develop that? By solving more questions. I'll tell you how. And that also you can do. First of all, you can do DSA. Second thing, you can work on projects, as much as projects as you can work upon, right? Just work on projects, do internships. Jitne internships kar sakte ho, do internships, make your own projects. There is an open source uh, competition that happens, which is GSOC, Google Summer of Code, organized by Google specifically for open source. So you can contribute to that. Maybe some other time we'll talk about more about it. But yeah, for now, you can just write out this word GSOC, and Google actually pays you a lot, like around 2 or 2.5 lakhs for 3 months if you clear that. But that's a hard process. Okay. So those are also quite good opportunities, or the good ways in which you can actually get a good experience. So these are the skills that you should have. The language tech stack I told you, for fresher pay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. JavaScript is main, the knowledge of JavaScript. Then if you know React or Angular mein se kuch bhi, it will be very good for you. And then good problem solving skills will anyway help you in long run. No say, because wo basics hai, right? And good projects will give you an upper hand in comparison to other people who might not have worked on projects. Okay. Now, how to get your resume shortlisted. This is also a case. But before that, as I talk about the required skills, let us talk about the front-end interview rounds, which is very, very, very important. So I told you in front-end interviews, what are the skills that are required? Very important thing is to discuss how is the front-end interview, how does the front-end interview rounds look like? So generally you have around 3 to 4 rounds, mostly that happens. Let's say once your resume gets shortlisted, you generally get this exploratory call from someone from the HR team who would take a short, let's say it is not going to be an interview. It's just a short call to know you. And if you have any questions regarding the company also, you can ask those questions. So how does generally, let's talk about this. How does exploratory calls go like? So HR generally call you. They'll ask you if you can tell something about yourself, a short description. So in this description, guys, now how to give an introduction whenever an HR or let's say a hiring manager is asking for your introduction. So the first thing that you should say is that obviously who you are, right? Your name. And then If you have worked in some companies in the past or you have done some internships, so you can mention those internships. Let's say if you don't have any internships, then mention the languages, the tech stack which you have worked upon. So you can go like this ki, hi, my name is Suman Ghosh. As I told you, as I gave my intro, that I am currently working in, let's say, a so company. Previously, I had worked with these companies. I had interned with so companies, and primarily with the in the front end. I have worked on projects, like you can talk about the projects which you have worked upon. Okay. Projects, once you have told, you can tell ki these are the tech stack which I have worked upon so far. So introducing yourself is just like a sales pitch, how you can sell yourself to people. So make sure your introduction is bang on and specific and tells a lot of, and actually all the work that you have done till now. Okay. So this is in the exploratory call. They are going to ask you your experience. Once you tell them, they are going to tell you, okay, these are the position that we are open for. These are the interview rounds. Generally in the exploratory call only, they tell you ki these are the interview rounds that we have in our company. They'll ask you your expected CTC and like how much salary do you expect, and if they can provide you that salary or not, and then they are going to move forward. If they feel that you are a good fit, then they can move forward with the first interview round, the actual interview round. Okay. Next is your machine coding round and or a take home assignment. What is a machine coding round? In this case, what can be done? A coding question is given to you. Okay. A coding question is given to you and you are given, let's say 1 or 2 hour, dependent on the difficulty of the question. You are given 1 or 2 hour wherein the interviewer is sitting for you. You're in front of you. Your screen is shared and you have to solve a question which the interviewer has given. It can be a coding question. Let's say they can ask you, make a to-do list purely in JavaScript. So in companies like Flipkart and I guess Amazon also, and some more companies, they ask you to build things in pure JavaScript. So that is why when I was emphasizing ki the knowledge of JavaScript is in front end is very important. This is why for. And making projects, how will that help? Here is where it is going to help. In the machine coding round, they are going to give you a question like create a to-do list or make a tic-tac-toe app, and many machine coding rounds are there in front end. So they'll give you a question like this, or let's say ki make a comment section wherein you can reply to it, reply to a comment, delete a comment, edit a comment, something like this. Or something like GitHub, a search functionality, a Swiggy like page wherein you have a search functionality, a filter functionality, a delete, addition, all these functionalities are there. So something like this question can be given. In the machine code, the interviewer is going to sit in front of you. You are going to code, and in case you have any doubt, you can ask those people. And normally in machine coding round, you are allowed to use Google, so that is fine. And before that, you can ask your interviewers also, ki, sir or ma'am, can I actually use Google for searching it out? If they allow you, you can straight away go and use Google also, okay, to find stuff. Not everything ki pura hi answer you are copying from Google. That is not how it is done. For small things, you can just go and search on Google. That is fine. So why? Because interviewers also check ki what are the things you are actually searching on Google. How is your Googling skill? So that is one more important aspect. So this is what happens in the machine coding round. Many companies give you take home assignments. So what happens in take home assignments? They are going to give you a question. See, they are going to send you this question via mail and they are going to give you time. We'll give you 2 days of time, and within this time frame, you will have to solve this question and you will have to send it via zip file or just upload it on GitHub and send it or send us the link. So these are the 2 ways that companies send you an assignment. This is the first level of round. If you clear this round, then generally there is a problem solving round which focuses on your DSA skills. In good companies, there are DSA rounds for front-end developers also. So for solving these questions, first thing you should know DSA. And then I would prefer you, once you are good with the DSA, practice questions on lead code. Okay, practice questions on lead code. So in this, what happens again, this round can vary from 1 hour to 2 hour, or in take home assignments it can be a few days also. Problem solving rounds are generally of 45 to 60 minutes. So in this, problems are asked to you based on DSA, and you'll have to solve those questions. Next is your technical discussion. Technical discussions are purely on JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and front-end technologies, ki how internet works, let's say, how JavaScript is loaded, how a JavaScript code runs, questions related to JavaScript, questions related to React can also be asked, or questions that are related to your resume, whatever things you might have added in your resume. So never add things in your resume which you don't know. Okay, the interviewer can ask stuff regarding your resume, so don't fake it at that point of time. So this is what happens in a technical discussion. Technical discussion is also around 45 to 60 minutes. Next, you have a managerial round, wherein managerial round is generally taken by the hiring managers who are hiring for their particular team. So they are going to ask you majorly these are also senior developers, like the managers of your team. They ask you questions like questions regarding your resume, your past experiences, your projects, and then if they have some more questions regarding the technology, they can ask that. Then the last round actually is the culture fitment or the HR round, wherein more questions are asked to check if you are actually fit for a company. So whenever you are there in an HR round, try to give answers in short. Don't try to elongate your questions too much. Just be on point. Whenever in HR rounds, give very diplomatic answers and straight answers. Okay. Don't exaggerate things much. Okay. Just be on point. Right. So this is how the front end interview rounds look like. Any questions in this? Anything else you would like to know about the interviews? Any questions that you would have in your mind? How much time it is going to, it depends on your, what should I say, on the pace that you are working. Shweta, good question. Can we include our weakness to be frank with interviewer? No, don't do that. Especially in front of HRs, let's say they generally ask questions like, tell me your weakness and a strength of yours. Okay. So in this case, you shouldn't tell your weakness. Just portray something that is not even a weakness, not a strength also. You can say sometimes I just focus a lot on my work that I just forget about my personal life also. So for them, for a recruiter, it is good that you are actually working so much. But somehow it's a weakness also and it's a strength also, right? So you can consider these things. And let's say you can give like personally, when I am asked this question of strength and weakness, especially strength is very straight to answer. But for weakness, I generally say that I don't know. Sometimes, like, I have too much on my plate. I take up too much on my plate. I'm unable to say no. So I'm still working on that thing. So you can say stuff like that. Ki sometimes I have so many things on my plate and I am not able to say no to people, but then I'm curbing on things. So then HR asks, were you able to work on your weaknesses? I told yes, I was able to work on my weakness. Initially, I had this that I was not able to say no, but then after that, I practiced this thing ki whenever I had too much, I used to firmly just tell people ki see, as of now, I'm not able to do this work. Maybe in future, if I'll have time, I'll pick it up. So I curbed my weakness somehow. So show them that your weakness that you had, you have actually turned it in your strength, and it's not your weakness now. So these are some questions that you can actually work upon. Never tell them your weakness, especially HRs. Let me see the questions. To learn algorithms, to learn how to. No, first you need to know, Nishita, first you need to pick up any language. Okay, कोई भी एक language pick कर लो, C, C++, Java. Learn that language ka basics, because DSA is, again, see, for learning grammar also, you should know ABCD, right? You should know how to make words, how to form words. So we first knew कि words कैसे form करते हैं, उसके बाद grammar आया. So first thing in any language is कि पहले एक language के basics सीख लो, because you cannot learn algorithms. लिखोगे कैसे? How will you write the algorithms? Once you know the language, you will be able to code things. So पहले is learn a language, then move to DSA. Soumya, on a scale of 10, how difficult would you say is the overall interview for a fresher? See, no interview is very difficult or very easy. It actually depends on your preparation level, right? My preparation level cannot be of a person who is currently working at Google, maybe, right? But I won't say in that case कि अरे यार Google का interview let's say बहुत ही hard होता है. It will be hard. किसी भी company का interview is hardly till the point you crack that company. At some point of time, Navi ka interview was also very difficult for me. But now since I have cracked it, I might say it is easy for me. Right? So it depends on your level of preparation. Suppose, and for freshers also, like, the interviewers are not that much difficult, because interviewers also know कि see, these people are coming from the college, so they have that much expectation only कि at least basics आने चाहिए, कि कितना जितना college में पढ़ाया गया है, that should be the things that they should know. And DSA is something which is a must and the basic. That is the expectation, basic expectation. Ajay, suppose you're doing web dev from offline or a little institute, doesn't matter. Again, I'm telling you, किसी भी institute से करो यार. The important stuff is that how much are you learning and what your skills are. For upskilling yourself, like I also, when I used to do courses, so I used to learn from YouTube या Udemy के courses, normal courses, right? But ultimately, I used to learn from there and I used to apply for internships and so on. So it's not like that कि छोटे institute से किया है तो मतलब again interview में क्या होगा नहीं होगा. It all depends on your skills. Shelja, which platform is good for practicing DSA coding? Initially, when you are starting, you can go with HackerEarth or HackerRank, then you can move with LeetCode. It has a very good interface, and also it is going to be easier. It has a lot of questions, and mostly companies ask questions from LeetCode. So LeetCode is the god. कि LeetCode कर लोगे तो हो जाएगा. What should we consider to be a part of the company? Which company should we choose? Good question, Sadia. So guys, whenever you choose a company, there are a lot of factors. Firstly, being freshers, we feel that as of now, if we get a salary package, that is quite good. The first aspect, a good package. Then the amount of work, the quality of work actually, ki kaisa kaam rahega, and that you get to know when you talk to people of that company. Okay, so what is the quality of work that is there? What, how are your teammates? मतलब वहां पे लोग, the people who are there working at that company, where do those people come from? What is the background? How is the work culture? These are a few things. Toxic to nahi hai. The work culture is good, because especially in IT sector we have so many companies now, and work culture in our case is given a lot of preference. So why do we call, let's say, ki Amazon या ये सब companies को, why do we call good companies? Because not only they provide you a good package, they provide you a good work culture. They give you good people around you to learn stuff. So people who are working at Amazon are Amazon, or let's say Flipkart, या फिर again Swiggy, या all these companies are Navi. These are people who have actually worked hard to be into this field. They have good knowledge of their field, right? And they have worked in some great companies in their past also. So working with those great developers, like working with those great minds, actually brings the best out of you also. If you are going to be with the people who themselves don't know anything, that might not help you in growing, right? So you would need seniors who can actually guide you, the seniors who are actually very capable, right? You would like to be a part of them. So these are a few things that you should consider about choosing the companies. Jerry, is it a requirement to be fast in typing? No, not that much. Initially, it's fine, ki whatever pace. And the speed comes with practicing. Like in maths, we used to do na ki jitne questions we'll practice, the speed increases, right? So it's dependent on that. Nawazuddin, how to stay confident? Yeah, right. Karan's is very right. You should practice many questions first of all. See guys, practice is the main key. Jitne questions practice karte jaoge, utna confidence build up hota jayega, and then you can give mock interviews. So at AccioJob, we have this provision also of taking mock interviews. Once you are prepared for the interviews, let's say we have taught you the 3 modules, now you are ready for the interviews, project bhi bana liya hai. Next what? We take up the mock interviews. So there are professionals from different and good companies, Microsoft, Google, यहाँ सबसे भी professionals है who are there to take your mock interviews. So when you give these mock interviews, they मतलब mock interviews में क्या होता है? They are the same setup. People are just asking you some questions and you'll have to answer them. Just that ये किसी company के लिए नहीं है. It's a practice. Just to know कि कैसे interviews होते हैं, how to answer interviews. So then these interviewers give you feedbacks also कि see, this is the way you could have answered it. This is the way you could have made it better. Ravi, I have technical knowledge but have anxiety and face talk fear, which don't make able to proper deliver answer. How to deal with it? Ravi, again, practice and mock interviews. Sai Kiran, ki just in case you say that you don't have any weakness, generally the HRs don't take that. They are going to ask, how is that possible that you don't have any weakness? So just find out something which is positive. Okay, is a weakness still positive? I gave you ideas, right? Ki, matlab, you can say ki sometimes you overload yourself with work. Okay, this is a weakness. One shouldn't overload themselves with work. Everyone has a personal life also. So that's a weakness. But see, for them, since you are their employee, it is fine for them if you want to take so much work. So that you can say ki sometimes I'm too peculiar with things. Like I want to code perfectly. Let's say sometimes I'm like this ki if I don't find the perfect solution, I keep myself stuck on that place itself. So it's a good thing also and a bad thing also. So it's not kind of a weakness also and not a strength also. So you can answer it likewise. Actually, we are not only discussing about front-end interview preparation. We are, if you remember, I talked about normal SD positions also, wherein you should learn about DSA and these concepts of OOPS, OS, DBMS. From where you can learn it, there is a very good YouTube channel called Code Smashers karke, या Gate Smashers, sorry. So Gate Smashers is a very good channel which you can go and binge watch, and on Geeks for Geeks also you'll get all this data for these subjects, very good subjects which you should actually know. Vicky, we can't give frank answers. Sometimes, see, the HRs are not your friend, right? Who want to know कि अच्छा आप में exactly क्या कमी है, right? They don't want to know. They actually want to know your diplomatic skills. They want to check how you exactly are. Let's say you are meeting a new person, you won't want them to know your weakness, right? Why would I want anyone to know my weakness? It can harm me only, right? I would want to tell people my strengths. Who wants to tell people about their weakness? Tell about your weakness, but in a diplomatic way always. That's a smarter option. Why would you want to tell an unknown person your weakness or anything very personal, or you want to be frank? HRs won't like if you sometimes be over frank also. Okay. Shubranil, it's not like that. Key companies like Mang, they need IITians only. No, they hire people from other colleges also. Like I have many friends who are not from IITs and they are still in Google. Yes, Shri Kiran, that is fine. I can only concentrate on one thing at a time. That is completely fine, which is good also, uh, which is not too good, not too bad also. One bad thing about it is you are not multitasker, but then it is fine. Just say ki I can concentrate on one thing at a time, but I make sure that I am giving the best in it. So complete it like that. So guys, let's move forward now. As we have discussed of it, I have prepared a front end prep kit which you guys can use specifically for the people who are preparing for front end or want to move into front end. Since in this course specifically, the AccioJob course, which is starting from 2nd December, for people who might be thinking why I'm talking about front end also, because I am going to take this course, and this is a front end prep kit that I have made. This includes interview questions of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And specifically for JavaScript, I have noted down all the important resources, all the YouTube channels, the pages or the blogs which you can follow to practice for interviews. So you guys can straight away scan it on or copy this link. A straight away link is there, you guys can scan it right away. Either you can take a screenshot or you can just take a pic, click a pic on your mobile. Manohar, if you are currently working at Amazon already, how is it useful? I guess since you are already at a level, might be this particular session is for the people who are aiming to those companies, to Amazon, and if you are already at that place, I guess this might not be that useful for you. There might be some extra session which includes some advanced topics, which topics you might want to know, but currently this particular session might not be of that help for you. YouTube channels for JS, I've added it here, guys. I've added most of the resources from where I actually learn, and you guys can also learn. So I've added all the resources. You can just click a pic of it, and or you can just straight away go to this link. It has everything. Has everyone clicked a picture of it or copied this link somewhere? Should I move forward? Okay, guys. So hoping that everyone has actually taken a picture of this. Moving forward, now the question is ki theek hai, we have seen what are the skills that were required and kya kya tha. Now comes to the actual resume building session. Now is the point, since you know ki skills kya kya chahiye thi, I told you about internships also. So one more things, I guess, one more question which many people had was how to grab internships. So guys, I'll tell you, when initially I was also a fresher when I was in second year. So what I did for grabbing internships, I started with normal HTML, CSS only and JavaScript. I made few projects in HTML, CSS, JavaScript again, and I knew Angular by that time. So I made small projects on that. And then I applied on internshala.com. Okay. So that's again, at my time, it was a very good site for actually applying for internships. Internships, I don't know currently if that helps or not. But again, internships you can grab via Internshala. Then you have D2C. Then you have LinkedIn again. So you can search here and you will get many opportunities for internships there. So this is how you can apply. Again, you will have to make a resume, and I'll tell you for this ki again a resume mein dalna kya hai. So internship experience, that is the way you can get. Now talking about the resume. So these are the things. First of all, what is a resume? It's basically just an identity of yours which note downs or tells about you in short, right? So what all things your resume should have? Your resume should firstly be of one page, not 2 pages. No one has time to see those 2 pages. So your resume should be of one page only. Next, it should contain all important details. Okay? Important details regarding the profile. Let's say you want to become a software developer, but then there are many people who will write, my hobbies are taekwondo, I love dancing, I have interest in drawing and all. So that doesn't help you in making a better software developer, right? These are some certifications or skills which are good to have, but these are co-curricular activities. You need not add these things in your resume. Add things regarding your profile. So things, let's say, these tech stacks, if you have done some certification, right, in a particular language, you can add that initially. Okay, if you have done some projects, add the project links. Okay, so all the important details. Now you should have associated profile links. Now I'll elaborate a bit more on each of this. So when I was talking about the details to add in the resume, on the all the important details, now what are those important details? First, education details, college and school you can add if you are from you are currently in college or have already passed out, you can add the college details. College, maybe just add the college name, not too big. मतलब just अगर university name है या ज़्यादा बड़ा है college का नाम, just specify. Let's say my college name is also too big, so I just specify UIET MDU, just that, simple. Okay. School, and also how much CGPA you got. So if your CGPA is good in college, you can mention it, and mention the degree also, ki you are a computer science master or not. And people who are not computer science majors, you might not need to add that thing. Okay. So mention the college, that is completely fine. If you want to mention your degree, that is fine, degree mein. And then if you have a good CGPA, mention a good CGPA. But if you don't have a good CGPA, don't mention it. It's like ki agar, let's say 10 mein se 5 CGPA hai and you are mentioning it, just don't mention it. Better not mention it, okay? Because that's not a good CGPA. Again, in school, you can mention your marks of 12th and 10th for the people who are freshers, बिल्कुल कि और कुछ भरने के लिए नहीं है, बस school information है, so you can add that. But you can skip the school part also. That is completely fine. Next, the very important thing is your work experience. If you have done any previous work, okay, if you have any past internship experience maybe in which company have you worked in that company, on what all projects you worked upon, on those projects, which were the tech stack that you actually used, right? These are the things which you can add. Now, personal projects. Let's say you have your personal projects. You can upload your projects on GitHub and add a link to your personal projects. You can describe your personal projects also. Let's say you made a chat app, right, wherein two people can chat. So you can write that you created a chat app. You can add the tech stack. Ki this chat app was made in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Socket.io, or these stuff, and then you can explain ki through this app you can do this stuff. Okay, and you can add a link also. Adding a link adds a lot to your resume. It helps a lot, so that a recruiter can come and see ki okay, this is the exact thing which the person has made. Then your technical skills. Technical skills include these languages only, which you can mention. Ki HTML, CSS, let's say C++, Java, Spring Boot, all these languages, frameworks, whatever you know, you can add. Then organizations or communities you have worked with. Now, there are so many organizations and communities. Like I was a part of, there are organizations like Girl Script. Then I was a part of Google Code, and then I was a part of different organizations. So you can mention that also. If you have any special achievement, you can add those special achievements as well. Ki there was a coding competition that happened and you were first in that competition. So you can mention that also. So these are some important details that you can mention. Next are the links to add in your resume. What all links should you add? If you are a software developer, then you should add your LinkedIn profile. You should add your GitHub profile. If you are on a coding platform, you are regularly practicing on Lead Code, Code Forces, or Code Chef, or you have a profile on Hacker Earth, Hacker Rank, then you should provide the link of all these things. Next, if you are, you have something, let's say if you are a front-end developer and you design stuff also. So Dribble is a platform mainly for designers though. So if you are from that background, you can add a Dribble ka profile also, or any other profile or platform wherein you actually have done stuff. So these are some important links that you should add. Now let me show you my profile. Just a second. So that it gives you an idea. Just a second, I'll just share my resume also with you guys. Let me open it. Yes. Okay. So this is how my resume looks like. So I have made it using Novo Resume. You can use different platforms. You can either use Novo Resume. Okay. You have Novo Resume. Then you can use Overleaf also. It has some good templates. These are the two templates which I generally use. One of them also you can use. Okay. Both are free for 1 page, and your resume should always be of 1 page. Okay. So let's see if I also abide by those things or not. And these are the resumes through which I have actually interviewed with a lot of companies. And every time I apply, I actually get a referral for this resume. And actually, this resume was also shortlisted for Google also. So I've got calls from Google with this resume also. So that is why I'm telling you how you can make good resumes with those following things. What are things you should have? Now let's see. So first is a name and whatever, like software developer. Then you can add your mail ID, your phone number, and whatever stuff you want. Your LinkedIn profile, okay, specifically, and your GitHub profile. So if you see here, I have added my LinkedIn profile here and my GitHub profile. Okay. These are the two things. Next, my work experience. Since I had so many internships, but then I couldn't have mentioned all the internships, right? So you need to pick up only those internships or those amount of work which are actually very good. Because see, when you will become senior, you are going to work on so many projects, but you cannot mention all that work, right? So from them, you can pick up just your best work and put it in your resume. Okay, so I've just put up my best work into this resume. So here I've mentioned that I'm currently working in this company. These are the projects that I have worked upon. And I've also mentioned the technologies which I have used in making these things. React.js, okay, Java, Spring Boot, Postgres. These terms you will eventually know once you are in companies. Okay, again, Java, Spring Boot, DynamoDB, Redis, Kafka, and many things, APIs, API creation, how this work help. So this won't make sense now, but generally, if you are someone who already has some experience in workplace, the next time when you create your resume, try to add something. Let's say whatever work you did, how did it impact the company? Let's say I worked on a project. It helped me in increasing the number of users that came to our app initially from 38% to 65%, let's say. So that impresses people a lot. The people who are recruiting you or seeing your profile, that helps you a lot. So you can mention those numbers also, key which by which number your creation helped in improving the improving the performance of the app or whichever thing you were actually working on. Okay? Because the tasks that you work on are actually going to solve a problem. So to what extent is it solving the problem, that you can mention. Now you can mention the in Geeks for Geeks, whatever I did. Then in Portivo, I did 2 projects and they were in React. So I have mentioned that. in Zycoon, what I had done. So I have mentioned these projects. Then the skill section, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Angular, Java, Spring Boot, all these things I have mentioned, GraphQL, what all things I have worked upon. Personal projects, I can link them, but what I have done straight away, I have given my GitHub profile wherein people can straight away go and check how many repos I have. They can straight away go ahead, right? So again, if like I have given my LinkedIn profile also, they can go to my LinkedIn profile and check. So these are some projects I have explained. These projects, you guys can better explain these projects. Educational background I have written, since I need not write that much stuff in which school I was studying and all, college, that is enough. My resume was already taking 1 page space. The organizations that I have worked in, that I have mentioned, that's all which you need to mention. Okay. And if you have some special achievements also, that also you can mention. Since I have worked a lot, so I had too many things which I could have added. Being a fresher, when I was also a fresher, I used to add the certifications. I have done these certifications or courses from Udemy. Okay. Or the projects, I used to explain more about my projects. This section which you can currently see is very small right now, but when I was also a fresher, I used to add this personal project section rather than a work experience, because I didn't have work experience at that point of time, right? So I used to write more about the personal project. So this is how you should also build a resume for a software developer specifically. I don't have my freshers wala resume. Let me check Internshala. Maybe I have something there. So also guys, yes, let me show you some platforms which I use. So Internshala was a platform. You can go to Internshala. So here you can register. Actually, Internshala also helps you in creating a resume. Here you can log in yourself. Let me log in myself. Maybe I'll have my resume here. Yes, you can also try freelancing. See, I will find my resume somewhere here. Let's see. Edit resume. Okay, see, this was my basic resume when I applied for my first internship. It included, chalo, this is so still something which I added. So I mostly added the positions of responsibilities. At that point of time, I had done a few projects, and I was a part of many organizations in my college. So I had mentioned that I used to teach in my second year. When I was in second year, I used to teach the first year students. So I used to mention that in the resume also. Trainings and courses, see, I used to mention whatever courses I had done, I had added them. Then my academic and personal projects, chat application, these small apps I had created. The skill section, the portfolio section, right? Any accomplishment, some irrelevant I had added at some point, that point of time. So this was my basic resume. Then you can go to, let me show you this thing, then I'll come back to your questions again. Let's say Bangalore or whatever location you can find here. Let's say if you want to apply as a front-end development or a back-end developer, right? You can search for the stipend also. See, there are so many opportunities that you can apply for. You can go to the view details. Yeah, another thing that I'll tell you to grab opportunities. See, one more trick, guys, bear with it. What I used to do at that time to grab opportunities, and generally internshala pe many students again don't get opportunities, but most of my internships which I have grabbed was via internshala. How? Let me tell you. You can see, let's say if I want to apply for this Python internship, so you see it says that 154 applicants have already applied, right? I want to stand out. So what I used to do, I used to go to their website. Generally, people on Internshala who hire add their website link. So you can go to their website ka link, just click on contact somewhere. You just need to find their mail ID. Once you find their mail ID, just add all the mail IDs which you want to target, and bus उनको resume send कर दो कि I found an opportunity at your company. This is the work that I have done. Give a short intro. This is the work that I have done so far. The tech stacks that I have worked upon. So just mention all these and उनको mail भेज दो straight away. Let's see. Let me show you. किसी और का example देख लेते हैं. Let's say this company also has a website. So get in touch. Okay, get in touch. Okay, here also I'm not finding as such koi mail ID. Let's look for something. Let me show you exactly how I used to did it, so that in case you guys have any doubt, that can help you. So you see contact ka section. अब यहाँ पे you will get their contact, right? इसको लो. Gmail पे in the BCC section, add the mail ID of all these companies which you want to target and send them a mail straight away. This is how I used to do it, and generally do it on Sunday night. Okay, Sunday night could do it, so that whenever the HR just opens or whosoever opens it on the next day, Monday, because Monday is working. So the first thing that we do on Mondays is open our mails, right? So the first mail will be yours, most probably, right? So it will help you in getting an upper hand with respect to the other people who were actually applying, right? And actually, many people have, when they contacted me via those mails, I got the mails faster and the response faster in comparison to normal ones. What should we write in the mails? Let me show you the content if you guys want that. Just a second. Okay. So let's say let's check for some stuff like internship. Yeah, see, so this is what I used to add initially, like it's around an year back, when I'm a software developer looking for part-time opportunities, and I'm interested in the role of SD intern at that point of time, and how much my experience has been with how many companies I've worked upon, on what all projects I have highlighted them. In these, I have made the main core module. I have included the important things in bold, right? And then I have added my CV very specifically. This is the, and you can see I have added so many people. I might have added, see, I've added so many people in the BCC. I used to grab these mail IDs and add people in the BCC and send them. So this is just a generic message, which you guys can also follow. When should we apply for internship? Once you feel that you have the basic knowledge ki matlab HTML, CSS and JavaScript ho gaya, then you can start applying for internships. And do apply for internships. Don't worry ki kya hoga, fail ho jaoge, nahi hoge. Don't worry on that. Once you are ready and you feel ki theek hai, you should start interviewing, because unless and until you interview, you will not know how interviewers are actually wanting things out of you, right? So try to give as many interviews as you can. Let me check your doubts. Okay, freelancing. What is freelancing? Freelancing is like taking up projects. So Upwork, Freelancer, ऐसे करके platforms are there where you can just look for projects. So many people want developers who can develop their projects. So freelancing से भी काफी income आ सकता है. I generally prefer offline mode of internship क्योंकि online में ज़्यादा कुछ समझ नहीं आता है. To be very honest, when you being a fresher, always try to work offline, मतलब office जाके. Online में इतना ज़्यादा it's not that much helpful. Ravi, I actually don't have my fresher resume. It's my company's laptop and I don't carry generally who carries their fresher ka resume. So I told you what I actually added. You guys can go with it. Like you can add the certifications, your personal projects, that would be fine. And explain as much as you can and highlight things. That is important. You saw that I highlighted the main things which a person should actually see. Right. So that is very important. The tech stack and all the important things that you want a person to actually focus on, they can see it. Platform for freelancers, freelancer.com hai, then you have Upwork. Rashmita, I cannot disclose that. And also, okay, Atif, yes, you guys can check my GitHub. This is my GitHub. And also, you guys, in case of any doubts also, apart from this session, we guys can connect over LinkedIn, wherein you can find my LinkedIn ID also from here. So we guys can connect via LinkedIn also. But yes, before that, please tell me if you guys have any doubts apart from this. Anything you guys would like to know, because that's what I have for today. Now, since you like your resume is ready, also, okay, let's consider some important things to consider. Always get your resume reviewed by a professional, which is very important. And resumes are reviewed for free. Keep changing your resume according to the profile you are applying for. Let's say in one company, okay, this is also very important. Let's say you are applying for Razorpay. Ab Razorpay में front end developers की कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट ऐसी है कि दे वांट कि रिएक्ट का थोड़ा ज्यादा हो, राइट? तो ऐसे कंपनी टू कंपनी आल्सो योर रेज्यूमे कैन वेरी कि specifically for this company, since they want this requirement, so I will like add the requirements accordingly. And for other company, you can add some other thing, maybe some other project which you worked massively, तो वहां पे you can add that. Okay, let me give an example. Let's say at Portivo, I worked on something like a questionnaire app, right? Or a job portal stuff. let's say kabhi I want to apply to naukri.com. So I'll specify wahan pe, kyunki naukri.com is again a portal where you apply for jobs, right? So there I can mention more about this work rather than the other works. So yahan pe I have talked more about this because I feel ki isse I could gain more attention of the recruiter. So you can change the content accordingly. Content as in किसी का कभी छोटा किसी और कोई चीज specify आप करना चाहते हो according to the company. And also always get your resume reviewed by someone. And this is done for free. ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब उसमें पैसे देने पड़ते हैं. Again, when you are asking for referral from people on LinkedIn, right? तो उनसे पूछ लो कि ma'am, can you please, or sir, can you please review my resume and tell me ki if I can like make my resume better and what all things should I add on. So you can do that. Okay, you want me to add this internshala wala link also kya? I'll add this. Also for mock interviews, guys, for mock interviews, once you are prepared, try to give as many as mock interviews as you can. Don't forget to actually, like, as I told you, like when I was interviewing, I interviewed with so many companies. Ultimately, see, in the world there are so many companies. You just need to crack one company, one good company. So it's not that hard, right? Also, don't shy away from interviews, considering कि नहीं अभी यार अगर मतलब अगर reject हो जाएंगे तो क्या होगा. Don't worry. If you get rejected in one, at least from each interview, right, you'll get to know a new question. So let's say if you are interviewing with 10 companies, you'll get to know 10 new questions, which is so good, right? शायद आप ये चीज, like when I was in my at my stage, at that point of time I interviewed with so companies, and with each company I used to get to learn a new question. And within that time span, like it was just 2 weeks, I learned so many things in those 2-3 weeks of my interviewing thing. And वो 2 week में जो मैंने सीखा वो मैंने शायद 2 months में नहीं सीखा होगा. So interviewing is also very important. Don't shy away from it. From where you can give mock interviews, you can approach people on LinkedIn. Also, like in AccioJob, as I told you, we have mock interviews. There are different platforms where you can give free mock interviews also. There is Topmate.io, and there are actually, what I used to do, I used to connect with people on LinkedIn. I used to ask them if they can refer me, and also they can take a mock interview of mine. That is how I used to do it. So I don't know many places where you can do that. Like there are Discord channels and all. Let's say Discord channels, mean there are so many people, right? So anyone or any TA who is having that good knowledge can take your mock interview. That's absolutely fine. You can ask people on Discord channel also. If they have good knowledge, they can take your interview. Ultimately, interviews are about confidence also, right? So it will help you in confidence building. And you'll get to know ki, in that case, when you are actually interviewing with a person, what are things you should actually do. What about YouTube class, as in Shahid? Didn't get you. Guys, any more questions, any more stuff that you would like to know from me? Because again, this session was particularly for people who want to know anything regarding the placements, since Okay, for you to clone. No, Shahid, that was yesterday's session where we learned about this YouTube. So that's again on present on YouTube. This YouTube clone is present on AccioJob's channel. You guys can go and see that. Guys, at this point of time, if I tell you, if you are fresher, please start with HTML, then go with CSS. Just take 2 weeks, learn HTML, CSS. Okay, let me show you all the stuff that I had listed here. Just a second, I'll get to some questions, okay? I'll show you what all things you can learn. I'll show you the resources also, which I have actually mentioned. So once you click this link, you will be landed here. These are the questions, some main questions that you can actually follow. Next, what I've added, since JS is more important, right? When it comes to HTML, CSS and front-end interviews, the most important thing is JavaScript. So if you want to start from the very basics of JavaScript, then you can take up any channel you can pick up on YouTube, okay, for JavaScript basics. JavaScript. Or you can basically start with, I tell you, beginners tutorial. You can start with this programming with Mosh. This is good. Or you can start with one more channel is there, that guy Coding with Harry, that is also fine. You can, or the best is Traversy Media. Okay, Traversy Media's channel for JavaScript. Please, anyone who wants to start with JavaScript, they can go to Traversy Media ka channel. This would be best. Once you are done with this, then for some interview prep and some core things, you can go to Akshay Saini's the best channel for learning JavaScript. It has everything. This playlist, Akshay Saini's YouTube channel is there. Then there is TechSit's YouTube channel, a very good YouTube channel again. It has again almost everything that you require in JavaScript or React also. Okay, interview questions are there, coding questions are there, everything is there. So you can go to their channel. For basic learning part, you can go to Traversy Media. Okay. Then once you are done with JavaScript also, to interview prep ke liye, you go to Akshay Saini's channel, TechSit's channel, then go to javascript.info. It gives you information about everything. So when I started my interview prep, the first thing that I did was I went to this website and I went through all the topics of javascript.info. Once I did this, uske baad I saw these two YouTube channels. Then one more YouTube channel which will help you is this JS Cafe. A very good YouTube channel again for interviews. It has the questions which generally big companies ask. These are the questions, front-end interview questions, string questions, a very good YouTube channel again. Then one more person whose YouTube channel is doing great. And they have added, because in front end you have many less, like comparatively for back end and DSA, you have a lot of resources but for front end there are less resources. That is, I have compiled them and I have added them for you here. So यहाँ पे again JavaScript questions, all these interview question preps, they are there. So एक एक करके pick up करो and you can take forward. Playlist. This playlist now, once you have done that, or let's say you have done the basics of JavaScript. See, these questions are the questions which are actually asked in that machine code. And once, let me say कि अगर ये 110 problems, if you solve it, no, इसके अलावा और कोई problem नहीं है जो machine coding में इसके अलावा कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं. Nothing else. So once you have done all this, right, you are going to be very good in JavaScript, because this will be a hands-on experience and it is going to help you in your machine coding rounds also. So solve all these questions. Then there is a challenge, a 30 days. This thing is also there where 30 questions are there. You can take up a challenge. See, it is going to be small. These questions would be there, which are going to be helpful actually. So you can solve this. Then for interview prep, for good companies, you have this front-end interview handbook. You can get Google, Amazon, सबके questions here. Good questions are there. Then there is one more interview questions ka thing. There are around 200 questions, yeah, more than 200 questions actually, see, with the answers. So you can go through all these questions. And I have majorly added all the main topics that are there in JavaScript. इसके अलावा कोई ऐसा topics बनते नहीं है, जो अगर बनते भी है, you guys can go through this thing, this whole content. And also guys, a thing that I would like to tell you, when I used to prepare, so what I used to do, let's say if I have a topic called promises in JavaScript, so I'll not just learn from here, I'll go to Medium, promises, I'll search in JavaScript, okay? I'll go to Medium, since on Medium you get to see many blogs. So go to Medium. In the search bar, just add promises in JS, okay? And you will get to see a range of so many blogs that are written or promises. Just try to read at least the first 10 blogs of them. You will get a detailed information about all the topics here, okay? Guys, again, please, this is repetitive actually. I've already told you, right? I've had all the resources here. So if you actually paid attention to the whole session, you won't have asked this question कि ये link मिल सकता है या नहीं. ये link already present है in this front-end preparation kit. So if you still don't have this, just take a pic of it. And once you click on this link, you will get all the resources. I have added the resources here. So you open kar sakte hain, you'll get all the resources here. For interview prep, again, there is a very good channel for system designs. Once you are done with HTML, CSS, JavaScript and React also, so uske baad you can just go through this design system wala. It's for higher level, but for your reference, I have added it for now. People who want to go through them also can actually do that. Yes, sure. Here's the QR code. Guys, don't be confused. Again, it's simple. Ultimately, it's on the skills. If you want to be a front-end developer, then start with HTML, CSS, then move with JavaScript, then move with React. Abby, currently we are not taking any mock interviews. Don't worry, man. You cannot master anything as such, to be very honest, Shelja. And the time depends on how much time you are actually devoting. Some people cannot learn DSA in 1 year also. Some people can learn it in 6 months also, let's say. 6 hours bhi doge per day. And अच्छे से prepare karoge. Also on the level of preparation also, that also depends, right? Your efforts and how much time you are actually giving. Mohammed Shahid, yes, not mandatory, I would say, but yes, basics. And for good companies learning DSA, at least till English is important. Flipkart, Postman, Uber, all the good companies ask DSA for front end also. A basic level of DSA. For being a software developer, actually, you need to know DSA. There is no escape from it. How to cover educational gaps, fresher with no experience and also wanted to change to IT field with non-IT background, any language to choose with a sea of codings. See, Vicky, if you want to go as of now, like if you want to cover your educational gaps and you wanted to move forward quickly, you can start with front end as of now. Like our courses, what do we have right now? We start with DSA. So DSA एक बार हो जाए, then we pick up front end. So what you can do, you can start with front end as of now, side by side DSA से तो start करो ही करो, then move to front end and see if you are interested in it. If not, like you can move to back end also. Main batch classes are not available on YouTube. Why would they be available on YouTube? Is DSA important to become ML engineer? See, to become an engineer, actually DSA is important. To be very honest. I'm not telling you कि सब कुछ आना चाहिए DSA में, but basics are very important. At least you should know कि what is linked list, what is stack, what are queues, because that helps you in development some way or the other. कभी ना कभी काम आएगा ही आएगा उसका जो logic है. Where to start front end from? यार HTML कर लो, CSS कर लो, JavaScript कर लो. Repeating it like for the 100th time again. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, basics. Just start it from here. उसके बाद React करो, उसके बाद Redux, and once you start learning things, see, just start करो एक बार. जब you'll start, no, तो धीरे धीरे चीजें पता लगती जाएंगी. Out of curiosity, you'll get to know things. But before you start, अगर मैं बहुत सारी चीजें बता दूं, again, it will be very confusing for you. Platform, HTML, CSS जो है, you can start from Udemy या YouTube. Shell is someone who pursues MTech. See, both are the career choices. Someone wants to learn more, invest more time in learning subjects or the core subjects. MTech is done basically when you want to go to lecturership या मतलब for higher studies या for some people it's like कि अगर BTech में अच्छा college नहीं मिला तो MTech में थोड़ा अच्छा college मिल जाएगा, अच्छी job मिल जाएगी. They go by that thing. So nothing is good or bad, but yeah, once you are in companies, it's better obviously because you will have more hands-on experience, more practical knowledge. In our field, theoretical knowledge is not helpful. Practical knowledge is helpful, right? So इसलिए working in companies is somehow a bit better. Abby, whose mock interview do you want to do? अभी कोई mock interview नहीं हो रहा है, please. Please don't ask this question again and again. We are not taking mock interviews here. Irshadul, yes, you can take up that course, full stack wala on Udemy. That's also good. Angela US से करके कुछ है, right? You can take up that. Guys, if you want your resumes to be checked, okay, can you send your links, the resume link? Maybe I can review some resumes right now. We can do that. But send me a Google Drive link. Just upload your resume on Google Drive and then we can review it. What's Node.js? Node.js is okay. I was at how to add JavaScript and UTM class. Shayad I'll come to that. See, yesterday what we made was actually in HTML, CSS. We didn't add JavaScript वहाँ पे. JavaScript you can add like कैसे by using a script tag. If you want to make it fully functional, you can do that. Script tag में logic लिखो, that's fine. What's Node.js? Okay, so Node.js is a JavaScript runtime which is used for backend. Like React.js and all these frameworks are for front end. Node.js is a JavaScript runtime which is used for backend. For now, just understand it like this: कि Node.js एक language है which uses JavaScript only, but for backend we use it. Sure, Mahesh, if you would be eligible, I'll surely do that. I want to crack the AccioJob pay after placement interview. How much coding should I know? See, we are actually enrolling people considering कि they should have the patience to learn and the enthusiasm to learn. We don't want कि आपको सब कुछ आना चाहिए. हम आपको सिखाएंगे. We are going to help you to learn things. We just want your enthusiasm, and we want कि whatever we are actually teaching you, you should like know those things. Okay, so let me open one of the resumes that I have received. Okay, so let's review Karan's resume. You guys can also send me your resumes. Okay, so first thing that I can see ki Karan, an IT undergrad. Okay, number he has added, and let's say the LinkedIn and GitHub profile he has added. That is fine. Education he has added. Cumulative percentage, Karan, maybe you can check off this percentage. If it's 54, if it would have been 70 or something, to mention karte to theek hoda. For now, you can just remove this cumulative thing. You can again remove this percentage. That is also fine. 8.6, that is fine. Internship experience, okay, good. Complaint management system, project title, provided the facility of user can register them complaint regarding. Can you improve on the English a bit? The explanation can be a bit better. Okay, exposure. You can rather write ki tech stack used. Okay, rather than exposure, you can write tech stack used, and which is very good. But what you can do, Karan, just make these words, right? Make them bold. And here also you have, okay, analyze infotech, the same company, software designed to maintain. Okay, good. For backend use, okay. Okay. HTML, CSS, correct. Good approach. Projects, what you can do, you can upload these projects on GitHub and provide a link of them here. Again, please make these words bold so that the user comes, like currently I'm not able to see. It is good, I'm able to see the project name in bold. I know you have done smart banking. So how as a user or an interviewer or any person actually looks at a resume, I'll tell you, or as a person, by default we start seeing things from the left top. We then go in this format, and then we again start from right top, and then we go in the bottom. So similarly, whatever important things you want to add them in the left top. Okay, and then comes your non-important, the least important thing should be on right bottom actually. Okay. So I can see the project names, but these things, it would have been good if I could see ki acha Python expert abhi I had to pay too much attention to actually see this. Ye mujhe pehle hi dikh jana chahiye tha, right? Then technical skills, correct programming, operating systems, okay, DBMS, correct, right? Relevant coursework, okay. Operating systems, if you have done some certifications, you can provide the link of your certificates here also. That will provide authenticity. The links of the certifications, the user will know. मतलब कल को तो कोई भी certifications डाल सकता है, right? But how can you actually authenticate them? By adding the link to your certification. But this is quite a good resume. I liked it. A small tweaks here and there, and this can be a very good resume, Karan. Shelza, there is no number कि कितने internships required है या कितने hands on experience. You can do like these and like you think it yourself. कभी भी कॉलेज में कोई अगर सब्जेक्ट था, कभी भी मतलब किसी ने बोला कि अगर इतने सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ लोगे तो एक अच्छे डेवलपर बन जाओगे, या कितने लैंग्वेजेस पढ़ लेंगे एक अच्छे डेवलपर बन जाएंगे, एग्जाम के टाइम पे कितना पढ़ लेंगे कि टॉप कर जाएंगे. यू कैन नॉट आइडेंटिफाई दैट, राइट? एक भी इंटर्नशिप करके बहुत ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस मिल सकता है, 7 इंटर्नशिप या 10 इंटर्नशिप करके भी कभी कभार उतना एक्सपीरियंस नहीं मिल सकता, राइट? सो don't go on the numbers, go on the quality rather than quantity. Let's go through Dilip's. Dilip, I would require the access. You can send me your resume again by providing the access. Param, see, ultimately, everything in future will be related to tech only. Like if it's mechanical, civil, या कोई भी field है, everyone wants to automate things, right? So mechanical में भी आपका machine learning and AI, all this stuff is coming, right? And EC में तो already hardwares है, Arduino and all, which already work on this stuff, right? So web development ही नहीं, if you talk about software development as a whole field or hardware developments also, it is going to be a huge part of all the fields anyway. Let me open this resume. Again, not having the access. Okay, some person. Access denied, guys. Please provide the access. Access denied. Access denied. Access denied again. Guys, please don't send access denied wale files. Yeah, right. Just change it to anyone with a link can see it. When you share stuff, you just click on here, share pe jao. See, anyone with this link, viewer. Okay, anyone with a link. Copy the link from here. Okay, so we have Dilip's resume. Let's go through this resume. Okay, what's the objective? To work in an environment which encourages me. Okay, objective is not required as such, Dilip, rather than also again, it's 2-page resume, which I won't recommend because I won't have that patience ki pehle page mein jo dikh gaya, I won't move to the next page. And also since see it's empty, so always prefer this 1-page resume. Especially for IT fields, no one is going to see 2-page ka resume. No one, at least good companies. Okay. So move with a one-page resume. Again, as I said, either you can use Novo resume or you can use this thing, Overleaf, right? Cognizant intern. Okay, worked on Cognizant as an intern. Okay. Power B. Again, mention the project name maybe. Okay, explain about the project. Here I worked on projects related to. So you have just mentioned you have worked on projects related to SQL Server. Write the project name specifically. Tell what you did in the project. What was the project about? Okay, and then specify what all things you used in it, the tech stack. If it is SQL Server integration, please highlight it. If you used Power BI, highlight it. Okay, education projects, again, please highlight stuff and add the tech stack which you have actually used. I like being a recruiter. If I would have been a recruiter, if you would have, let's say, asked me to refer you, I would have been very dicey. मतलब मेरे को इसको देख के पढ़ने का मन नहीं करता क्योंकि इतनी सारी चीजें हैं and कुछ भी highlighted नहीं है, nothing is in points, right? You should add things in points. This looks good to me. This is fine. Skills maybe. I would rather see like in this 1, 2, sab kuch. Would you yourself like to see a resume like this? No, right? So you can better use Novo resume. I would suggest you do that. It will help you in structuring your resume better. Param, yes, true, but that's a whole cycle. Sometimes, see, in 2021, when it was people were hiring at a boom, then again in 22, the market is also not good. So many things are there. If you see the market also, the market goes on boom sometime, and when things go on top, they ought to come to a level when they are at a very low stage. So everything that is going to go high will come low also, right? So that is a whole circle. Don't worry on that part. Our part is always what we can handle, we should handle. This is not something which we can handle because we are not into that stuff. Our part, what we can do is learning skills and being better people. That is what we should do. Okay, let's go to one more resume. Okay. Okay, so you have Atif, please add LinkedIn profile. Sorry, your GitHub profile also. Intermediate articulation. Okay, currently you don't have much to add. I would recommend you to do more projects as of now. Currently, this is not what an ideal resume would look like. But once you do stuff, there would be many things you can add. If you have done projects like one voting system, online voting system, please explain about it. What was it about? Organization name. See, you forgot adding the organization name. So please be very careful of that, what you are actually adding. Okay. Is Atif and Shell just sharing the same links kya? Is Nishita there on the call? I guess this is also a 2-page resume. And again, very outdated resume pattern, not followed. Atif, I just reviewed your resume, right? Any more resumes to be reviewed, guys? Okay, this is Shelja's resume. Okay. Better, but what did you learn learned in the this training and internship program? Please add that. Successfully completed 6 weeks summer internship program. What did you do in that? People are going to wanting to know that, right? कि मतलब बस ये नहीं कि आपने एक चीज करी है. What you have done in that, explain it. इससे क्या रहेगा? Your resume is also going to look filled, right? वो भी भरेगा, and then people need not ask you. They are going to judge you on the basis जो आप यहाँ पे लिखोगे. Let's say you have done a good amount of work. You would want to tell people ना कि मैंने ये काम अच्छा किया है. I have made this project. I have learned so many things. Would you say बस मैंने यार internship किया था, बस 6 months का था? Would you say that? Would you rather say 6 months में मैंने ये चीजें करी, इसमें मैंने ये सीखा? Correct? तो write the same thing in your resume. A clean, beautiful, responsive, customizable by using, ठीक है, इसको थोड़ा technology use को ये थोड़ा bold करो. And HTML, CSS, PHP, MySQL, please add them in small caps only. Don't make it ऐसा मतलब caps में मत करो इन्हें, small में ही रखो. This doesn't look good. Keep in camel casing only. Let's move to some other. Okay, Dia, Microsoft Future Ready Talent. Made project on weather forecasting projects. Again, Ria, please add what all things. Try to add more about the project. I would again say थोड़ा और सोचो और क्या क्या लिख सकते हो. Consider it like this कि आप sell कर रहे हो खुद को. आप क्या क्या चीजें लिखोगे अपने resume में. Made a project on weather forecasting. एक तो I would recommend सबसे पहले कि इसको change कर लो. Please change the resume format. Again, 2 years 2 pages का है, won't work. I see you have done a good amount of work, but then ये अच्छे से बताया नहीं गया है resume में. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले just change the format, नोवो resume use कर लो. Then you can add things accordingly, references or all these sections. Also, this should be a 1 page. Skills में no Python ऐसा नहीं, just mention machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, all these things. And mention the tech stack again. क्या क्या tech stack आपने use किया है? Please add that. Otherwise, the work that you have done looks good to me. Okay. Okay, who all are left? Bhavan. Okay. Okay, education looks fine. MATLAB, ठीक है. Certification. Again, please add the. Nishita, I'll look at your resume. Give me a second. Languages. This won't make a sense. You can remove it. Projects. Okay, please add the tech stack also that you have used. इसको थोड़ा bold कर दो. Solar, photogenic, important. We compare the maximum. It's a good one. थोड़ा इसको और आपने क्या क्या technology which you have used, please add that. Workshops, co-curriculars, that's fine. Looks decent to me. Okay, this looks decent to me, Bhavan Vijay. Just that again, actually क्या होता है? See, it's again, I'll give you a reference. Let's say a website is there. Okay, so there is a website like Wikipedia, and then there are other websites which are interactive and have a good UI. Which website would you like to see? A website which is just black and white and plain and not that interactive, yeah, good website. Which is a bit colorful, decent design? a one with a decent design you would like to see, right? So वैसे ही is a resume which is so dull a person wouldn't like to see that kind of a resume. कि ये points, the font is not also that good. तो इसलिए I have rather told you कि इसमें मेहनत करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You can just straight away use Novo resume. Okay, so Shirisha's turn. Shirisha, please provide me the access. Okay, now we have done Bhavan's. Nishchita, is Nishchita on the call? Nishchita, if you are there, I'll just review a resume. Okay, so Nishchita is there. Yeah. Okay, again, Nishchita, 2-page resume. Yeah, as I told ki, see the format, please focus on the formatting. Straight away, I'll tell you that please use Novo resume. Personal attributes, keeping temper under control, not needed. ठीक है, certification Microsoft package, okay, that is fine, you can add it later. Technical skills, okay, this is also fine. Any certifications if you have done, this is not needed. All this personal information, if you are single, you are female, wherever you live, not required, right? So just change this complete format to this thing, your Novo resume, and do some certifications, I would suggest. And add projects, if any. Srikiran. Okay, again, 3-page resume. Again, a big no-no. This address, this thing not required. Please add GitHub resume, GitHub link also. Payment gateway established. Okay, please, you have mentioned the technologies here. That is fine. Please mention the technology here also. This is fine. This also looks fine. Clubs can maintain. ठीक है. इसका link भी provide कर दो. It would be very good if you just can upload these things on GitHub and provide the link. Technical qualifications, fine. Key courses taken. See, it doesn't matter. ये हटा दो courses. If you have got some certifications, यहाँ पे please add the certification link, because otherwise it won't make sense. This also looks fine. Co-curricular, as far as it is related to coding and stuff, ये भी हटा सकते हो. Again, Srikiran, please convert this into Novo resume, would be better. Again, no access, Shrisha. Let's see Krishna, no access. Novo resume. Novo resume is a website to make resumes. What if I didn't do any internships? कोई बात नहीं, make personal projects. Personal projects बनाओगे तभी तो internships मिलेंगे. No access again. I see a few questions here. Is Anmol there on the call? Anmol Sharma? So there's a question कि I'm working as a quality engineer and no basic Python. Should I switch to IT sector as IT sector has way higher package than core industry? Yeah, like if you have interest in that, then you can surely move. Why not? Any other resumes, guys? Do you have? Again, access denied. Difference between TypeScript and JavaScript, it's just a subset of Java. TypeScript script is a subset of JavaScript. मतलब JavaScript में जो है वो TypeScript में भी है. Just a special thing about Java TypeScript which makes it different from JavaScript is its type. मतलब TypeScript as the name suggests. Now let's say कि कल को I'll give you an example. So let's say I have a form, ठीक है? उस form में I want the name of a user, ठीक है? I want, let's say, अब name यहाँ पे सुमन है. I want the age of the user, let's say 30, ठीक है? I want the email ID, let's say it be suman@gmail.com. और भी डेटा कुछ यूजर आईडी मान लो कोई यूजर आईडी है सो आई हैव दिस यूजर 1 2 3 4 5 एंड स्टफ ठीक है तो ये है दिस हैपेंस इन जावास्क्रिप्ट कि लेट्स से यू हैव अ फॉर्म उस फॉर्म में the data will come in this format. TypeScript, what it says, it adds one more check कि whatever data is going to come that would have a type. Now I would tell कि name का अभी तक in JavaScript we were not telling कि name में string होगा integer होगा क्या type होगा. I can Suman name में I can add Suman also. I can add any number also, right? कौन सा check है? There is no check. But then what this thing TypeScript says कि there should be a type defined. Let's say name should have a string type. Okay, age should be an integer type. Email should be a string type. And again, let's say user ID should be a string type. So ऐसा in TypeScript we express types also. कि name का ये type होना चाहिए. Just types are also mentioned. The data type basically. And also many things are there, but this is the main thing, main difference. Any other resumes, guys? I guess we are all done for the day. That's what even I had for you guys. I hope the doubts were clear and I hope ki you guys are good to go now. Now, since you know so many questions, so many things that you had to know, जो पता होना चाहिए था, I hope things were pretty clear. With this, I would like to thank everyone who was there with me since past 2 days for the past 2 sessions. Thanks again for bearing with me. Thanks a lot. And again, if you have any doubts, we guys can connect via LinkedIn. So I'm always there present for any of the doubts that you have. And yes, if you're planning to join AccioJob for the next class, the class is going to start from 2nd December, which is going to be taught by me. The whole front-end module is going to be taken up by me. So yeah, let's sync up there, or else let's sync up on LinkedIn or some other time in some other session. Thanks a lot, guys, for bearing with me. Thanks a lot. Good night. Bye-bye, guys.